ఇది మేధాయుద్ధం యుద్ధం ఇది మేధాయుద్ధం మేధావుల మధ్య జరిగే భీకర పోరాటం యుద్ధం ఇది మేధాయుద్ధం మేధావుల మధ్య జరిగే భీకర పోరాటం రాజు మంత్రి ఏనుగొంటె సిపాయులను కదిలిస్తూ జిరాఫీ గుర్రాలను ఎగిరిస్తూ రాజు మంత్రి ఏనుగొంటె సిపాయులను కదిలిస్తూ జిరాఫీ గుర్రాలను ఎగిరిస్తూ గెలుపు కొరకు ఆడే నవ భారతమేదో పోరాటం జిరాఫీ చెస్సు మేధాయుద్ధం జిరాఫీ చెస్సు మేధాయుద్ధం యుద్ధం 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 ఇది మేధాయుద్ధం మేధావుల మధ్య జరిగే భీకర పోరాటం
Fighting with the swords, gone. Playing with the brain, on. Let's play Giraffe Chess Hat-Trick League Season 3.
International Giraffe Chess Federation presents Hat-Trick League Season 3 between 10 Proddatur teams. Hello everyone. Welcome to India's new 68 squared Giraffe Chess Academy Proddatur. And welcome to the live telecast of no draws, no resigns, only win or lose in just 70 moves Giraffe Chess Hat-Trick League 2024 Season 3.
Let us watch Giraffe Chess Hat-Trick League Season 3. Match number 41 between Proddatur Jaguars team versus Proddatur Kings team. Each team consists of 3 players. Whoever team all outs opponent all 3 players is the match winners. Let us go and watch the toss at the center of the court. And in the toss, Proddatur Kings team won the toss and elected to play on black side.
Now let us watch first game of the match between Jaguars team opening player Srinu versus Proddatur Kings team opening player Aravind. Let us see among these 2 players who will win this game and who will do hat-trick and who will be the hat-trick hero of today's great match. Let us watch. Let us move on to the court. One-time hat-trick hero, best scholar awardee, Proddatur Jaguars team opening player Srinu is ready to play on right side. Let us see on other side of the court. 5 times hat-trick hero, best scholar awardee, Proddatur Kings team opening player is ready to play on black side.
Now we can see both players are ready to start game 1 of the match. Black side player Aravind is ready to hit the clock. Yes, he hit the clock. Game 1 started.
Pawn to e4, pawn to e5, pawn to g3, pawn to d6, bishop to g2, queen to e6, queen to e2, pawn to c6, knight to f3, pawn to d5, castling at king side, knight to d7, rook to e1, bishop to e7, knight c3, pawn to d4, knight to d1, knight to h6, pawn to d3, knight to g4, bishop to h3, knight to c5, bishop to g5, queen to d6, bishop capture bishop at e7, queen capture bishop at e7, rook to c1, knight to f6, pawn to b4, knight to a4, pawn to c3, pawn capture pawn at c3, bishop capture bishop at c8, rook capture bishop at c8, giraffe capture pawn at c3, pawn to b6, pawn to d4, castling at king side, pawn capture pawn at e5, knight to d7, giraffe to d3, knight capture pawn at e5, knight capture knight at e5, queen capture knight at e5, giraffe to g2, king to h8, pawn to f4, queen to d4 and check to white king, giraffe to f2, pawn to h6, queen to h5, giraffe to e6, queen to e2, rook to e8, knight to e3, queen capture pawn at e4, pawn to f5, giraffe to h7, pawn to h3, Giraffe to F6. Rook to C4. Queen capture knight at E3. Queen capture queen at E3. Rook capture queen at E3. Rook capture rook at E3. Giraffe capture rook at E3. Pawn to G4. Pawn to G6. Pawn capture pawn at G6. Pawn capture pawn at G6. King to F1. King to G7. King to E2. Pawn to B5. Rook capture pawn at C6. Giraffe capture pawn at B4. Giraffe to C3. Knight capture giraffe at c3. Rook capture knight at c3. Rook to f4. King to d2. King to f6. King to c2. King to e5. King to b3. Pawn to a5. Pawn to a4. Pawn capture pawn at a4 and check to white king. King capture pawn at a4. King to b4, d4. Rook to d3 and check to black king. King to c4. King capture pawn at a5. Rook to f6. Rook to f3. Rook capture rook at f3. King to b6. Rook to f7. King to c6. King to c3. Giraffe to f5. Pawn capture giraffe at f5. Pawn capture pawn at f5. King to d2. King to d6. King to e1.
Yes, now we can say
Pawn to
Arvind is just
f6.
one step away to win by crowning. Yes, he
King to
moved his
e0,
king to
crowning win.
e0 and won the game by crowning. What a superb crowning win to Arvind. Sino out. Proddatur Jaguars team opening player Sino out. Arvind, with this win, he won the first game and still need two more wins to do hat-trick and become hat-trick hero of today's great match.
Let us watch second game of the match between Proddatur Kings team opening player Aravind versus Proddatur Jaguars team second player Nandan Sai. Let us see among these two players who will win this game and who will do hat-trick and who will be the hat-trick hero of today's great match. Among these two players, Nandan Sai already won the first game and now playing for winning second game. Let us watch what will happen. Let us move on to the court. Two times hat-trick hero, best scholar awardee, Proddatur Jaguars team second player Nandan Sai is ready to play on black side. Let us see on other side of the court. Five times hat-trick hero, best scholar awardee, Proddatur Kings team opening player Aravind is ready to play on white side.
Now we can see both players are ready to start game 2 of the match. Black side player Nandan Sai is ready to hit the clock. Yes, he hit the clock. Game 2 started.
Pawn to e4. Pawn to e5. Pawn to c3. Pawn to g6. Pawn to d4. Bishop to g7. Bishop to c4. Giraffe to c6. Queen to f3. Knight to e7. Pawn to d5. Rook to f8. Pawn capture giraffe at c6. Knight capture pawn at c6. Knight to h3. Knight to g8. Knight to g5. Queen to e7. giraffe to d3, pawn to h6, knight to h7, knight to a5, knight capture rook at f8, king capture knight at f8, giraffe to g4, knight capture bishop at c4, queen to e2, knight to d6, knight to a3, pawn to h5, giraffe to d5, bishop to d9, queen to f3, pawn to c6, giraffe capture pawn to g6, rook to e8, giraffe to h3, giraffe to b8, giraffe to e3, knight to c8, queen capture pawn at h5, pawn to b5, giraffe to h4, pawn to f6, queen to g4, pawn to b4, knight to c4, pawn captured pawn at c3, pawn captured pawn at c3, knight to h6, queen to g6, rook to d8, queen to h7, king to f7, queen capture bishop to g7, check, black king to e8, queen capture knight at h6, pawn e6, giraffe to g6, giraffe to c5, giraffe to g7, king to f7, giraffe capture rook at d8, queen capture giraffe at d8, queen to h7 and check to black king, king to e6,
Now Arvind immediately
giraffe
jumped
to
his
f3
giraffe to f3 and said check to black
and
king.
it's a
It
checkmate.
is not only check, it is a checkmate win to Arvind. What is superb checkmate win to Arvind. Nandan Sai out. Proddatur Jaguars team second player Nandan Sai out. And with this win, Arvind he won continuously 2 games and still need one more win to do hat-trick and become hat-trick hero of today's great match.
Now, let us watch third game of the match between Proddatur Jaguars team last player Vignesh versus Proddatur Kings team opening player Aravind. Let us see among these two players who will win this game and who will do hat-trick and who will be the hat-trick hero of today's great match. Among these two players, Aravind already won continuously 2 games and now playing third game for doing hat-trick. Let us see what will happen. Let us move on to the court. 2 times hat-trick hero, best scholar awardee, Proddatur Jaguars team last player Vignesh is ready to play on right side. Let us see on other side of the court. 5 times hat-trick hero, best scholar awardee, Proddatur Kings team opening player Aravind is ready to play on black side.
Now we can see both players are ready to start. Game 3 of the match. Black side player Aravind is ready to hit the clock. Yes, he hit the clock. Game 3 started.
pawn to d3, pawn to e5, pawn to e3, pawn to d5, knight to f3, knight to f6, knight capture pawn at e5, king to e7, knight to f3, king to e8, pawn to d3, queen to e7, bishop to d3, pawn to c5, castling at king side, pawn capture pawn at d4, knight capture pawn at d4, pawn to g6, giraffe to c3, queen to e5, knight to f3, queen to h5, bishop to e2, Giraffe to d6, knight to d4, giraffe captured giraffe at c3, bishop captured queen at h5, knight captured bishop at h5, knight captured giraffe at c3, knight to f6, knight to b5, bishop to e9, knight captured pawn to d5, knight captured knight at d5, queen captured knight at d5, pawn to a6, queen to e5 and check to blocking, bishop to e6, queen capture rook at h8 and check to blocking, king to e7, knight to d4, knight to d7, queen captured pawn at h7, bishop to c4, rook to d1, knight to f6, queen to h4, bishop to d8, knight to e5 and check to blocking, king to e6, knight to g4 and check to blocking, king to e7, queen captured bishop to c4, giraffe to e6,
Now Vignesh immediately
Queen to
moved his
c5
queen to
and check to
c5 and
blocking,
said check
and
to
it's a
blocking.
checkmate.
It is not only check, it is a checkmate win to Vignesh. What a superb checkmate win to Vignesh. And Aravind out. Proddatur Kings team opening player Aravind out. A big disappointment for Aravind. He lost the hat-trick chance. He won continuously 2 games, but whereas third game he lost. as whereas Vignesh, he got a hat-trick chance from the Aravind. Now let us see what will happen. Now so far this is the first win for the Vignesh. Still he needed two more wins to do hat-trick and become hat-trick hero of today's great match.
Now, let us watch fourth game of the match between Proddatur Jaguars team last player Vignesh versus Proddatur Kings team second player Abdullah. Let us see who will win this game. If Abdullah wins this game, his Proddatur Kings team won the match. If Vignesh wins this game, match will be tied with 2-all games and go for fifth game for result. Let us move on to the court. 2 times hat-trick hero, best scholar awardee, Proddatur Jaguars team last player Vignesh is ready to play on black side. Let us see on other side of the court. 1-time hat-trick hero, best scholar awardee, Proddatur Kings team second player Abdullah is ready to play on white side.
Now we can see both players are ready to start game 4 of the match. Black side player Vignesh is ready to hit the clock. Yes, he hit the clock. Game 4
Pawn to
started.
E4, pawn to D6, pawn to D4, knight to F6, knight to C3, pawn to E6, giraffe to E3, knight to D7, pawn to D5, pawn to E5, giraffe to B4, giraffe to F6, knight to H3, knight to A6, giraffe to E3, giraffe capture giraffe at E3, pawn capture giraffe at E3, knight to F6, giraffe to F3, giraffe to G8, bishop capture knight at A6, pawn capture bishop at A6, pawn to G4, bishop capture pawn at G4, knight to g1, giraffe to d7, pawn to h3, bishop to h5, pawn to b4, giraffe capture pawn at e4, queen to e2, giraffe to d7, pawn to b5, pawn capture pawn to b5, knight capture pawn to b5, pawn to a6, knight to a3, knight capture pawn to d5, queen to f2, bishop to e7, queen to e2, bishop to h4 and check to white king, king to d2, pawn to c6, pawn to e4, queen to a5 and check to white king, king to d1, knight to c3 and check to white king, king to d2, knight capture queen at e2, king capture knight at e2, queen to e1 and check to white king, king to d3, pawn to c5, pawn to c4, bishop capture giraffe at f3, bishop to b2, queen capture pawn at e4 and check to white king, king to c3, Bishop capture rook at h1. King to b2. Rook to b8 and check to white king. King to a4. Queen to c6 and check to white king. King to a5. Queen to b6 and check to white king. King to a4.
Now Vignesh immediately moved his queen to b4 and said check to white king. It is not only check, it is a checkmate win to Vignesh. What a superb checkmate win to Vignesh. Proddatur Kings team second player Abdullah out. So far Vignesh, he won continuously 2 games and still needed one more win to do hat-trick and become hat-trick hero of today's great match.
Let us watch most important match winning deciding 5th game of the match between Proddatur Jaguars team last player Vignesh versus Proddatur Kings team last player Abdul Waris. So far both teams won 2 games. Now whoever team player wins this 5th game, they are the match winners. Let us watch what will happen. If Vignesh wins this game, it will be hat-trick to the Vignesh and he will be the hat-trick hero of today's great match. Let us move on to the court. 2 times hat-trick hero, best scholar awardee, Proddatur Jaguars team last player Vignesh is ready to play on right side. Let us see on other side of the court. Little Scholar awardee, Proddatur Kings team last player Abdul Waris is ready to play on black side.
Now we can see both players are ready to start. Game 5 of the match. Black side player Charan Tej is ready to hit the clock. Yes, he hit the clock. Game 5 started.
Pawn to d3, pawn to h6, pawn to h3, giraffe to e6, pawn to e3, knight to c6, pawn to d4, giraffe to d9, queen to f3, pawn to e6, giraffe to d3, queen to f6, queen capture queen at f6, pawn capture queen at f6, knight to f3, pawn to d5, bishop to e2, knight to b4, bishop to d1, giraffe to d6, pawn to a3, knight to c6, giraffe to c3, giraffe capture giraffe to c3, knight capture giraffe to c3, pawn to e5, pawn capture pawn to e5, pawn capture pawn to e5, giraffe to e0, pawn to e4, knight to g1, giraffe to e6, knight captured pawn at d5, bishop to d6, pawn to f3, pawn captured pawn at f3, giraffe captured pawn at f3, king to d8, giraffe captured giraffe at e6, pawn captured giraffe at e6, knight to c3, knight to e5, knight to f3, knight capture knight at f3, bishop capture knight at f3, knight to f6, bishop to d2, pawn to e5, castling at queen side, pawn to c6, bishop to e1, king to c7, bishop to h4, knight to e8, knight to e4, pawn to b5, knight to f6, knight capture knight at f6, bishop capture knight at f6, rook to f8, bishop to g7, rook to f7, bishop capture pawn at h6, bishop to b7, rook to f1, rook to d8, bishop to e9, pawn to c5, bishop captured bishop at b7, king captured bishop at b7, Bishop capture rook at d8. Rook capture rook at f1. Rook capture rook at f1. Pawn to e4. King to d1. Bishop to g3. King to e2. King to c6. Bishop to g5. King to d5. Bishop to f4. Bishop capture to bishop at f4. Rook capture bishop at f4. Pawn to c4. Rook to f1. King to c5. Pawn to h4. Pawn to b4. Pawn captured pawn at b4 and check to black king. King captured pawn at b4. Pawn to h5. Pawn to c3. Pawn captured pawn at c3 and check to black king. King captured pawn at c3. Pawn to h6. King captured pawn at c2. Pawn to h7. King to b2. Pawn to h8. King to c2. Queen to a1. King to b3. Rook to b1 and check to black king. King to c4.
Now Vignesh immediately moved his queen to d4 and set check to black king. It is not only check, it is a checkmate win to Vignesh. What a superb checkmate win to Vignesh. And Proddatur Kings team last player Abdul Waris out. So with this out, Proddatur Kings team all out and lost the match. And whereas Vignesh, he won continuously 3 games and did hat-trick and became hat-trick hero of today's great match. And this is his 3rd hat-trick in hat-trick league. Congratulations, 3 times a hat-trick hero, Vignesh. Hello everyone, welcome to Giraffe Chess Hat-Trick League Season 3. Just now we watched a great, exciting and interesting match. Match that is against Proddatur Jaguars team versus Proddatur Kings team. What a match, superb match. All spectators, they watched very exciting, very interesting move each and every game. In this match, today one person he came lately in the 3rd game, but he allows opponent all 3 players in just 115 moves. He is none other than Proddatur Jaguars team player, best scholar awardee, Vignesh. Please come over there. All of you give big clap to this hat-trick hero. Congratulations, Vignesh. Now, on behalf of International Giraffe Chess Federation, let me hand over 500 rupees cash prize for today's hat-trick hero for doing marvelous hat-trick. Now, shall I have a small interview? Yes. Thank you. Now, if you see this entire match, today's match, that everyone watched, I feel very happy. Why? Because of this is the 2nd time, 3rd time that you are coming up to give life to your team. Your team is almost going to out continuously. First, Sinu of your team out. Next one, another team player, Namansai out by the Aravind. Aravind, he is playing 3rd game, that too on hat-trick against your team. So
So by that time you came for rescue your team. So Arvind is on other side, he is ready to get the hat trick, but you came. You stopped the Arvind hat trick. So that is the how you feel. The first game you won Arvind. First you out the Arvind, that is off his hat trick by checkmate. That too more interestingly, you all out opponent all three players by checkmate. So Arvind is very good player, promising player. So you out him, that very good player by checkmate. So what is the game winning move?
We are both good friends and we know the both game plays are as well. So it is a very tough game for me to win for my team and me also. Arvind is a very good opponent and very tough to get win for him. So in the 18th move, he made a mistake in the opening. So I capitalized it and captured the check, and it was for queen and king as well for the check. So it made me loss of some powers. That made me win for a bite.
Very good. That is an excellent game against Arvind. That too just below 27 moves. So that is the excellent win. 27 moves checkmate is really a great thing. Everyone happy. And you came to rescue your team. It is almost all out your team. You stand against Arvind very bravely. You won the game. Next game you played with Abdullah. In that game also you out Abdullah by checkmate in 34 moves. So what is the game winning move in that?
In the opening moves only he made some blunders. So I capitalized and used my powers to kill his powers. With the loss of some more powers, he lost the game. And I capitalized it and pushes my powers to make checkmate.
Very good. That is the good observation. So that game, that move changed the Abdullah away.
And finally, here is the today's hat-trick hero Vignesh scorecard. In game 1, he outs Arvind by checkmate in 28 moves. In game 2, he outs Abdullah by checkmate in 34 moves. In game 3, he outs Waris by 53 moves. Totally, he did a hat-trick in 115 moves. Congratulations, hat-trick hero Vignesh, and all the best for the next matches. And here is the points table of Giraffe Chess Hat-Trick League 2024 Season 3. Let us see what are the top 4 teams after finishing off 41 matches. Proddatur Spartans team with 16 points stands on first position. Proddatur Jaguars team with 14 points stands on second position. Proddatur Chiritas team with 12 points stands on third position. Proddatur Kings team with 10 points stands on fourth position. Each team, after playing 9 matches, final points are calculated for the top 4 positions. Top 4 teams only qualify for the final playoffs.
ఇది మేధా యుద్ధం, యుద్ధం ఇది మేధా యుద్ధం. మేధావుల మధ్య జరిగే భీకర పోరాటం. యుద్ధం ఇది మేధా యుద్ధం. మేధావుల మధ్య జరిగే భీకర పోరాటం. రాజు మంత్రి ఏనుగొంటె సిపాయులను కదిలిస్తూ, జిరాఫీ గుర్రాలను ఎగిరిస్తూ. రాజు మంత్రి ఏనుగొంటె సిపాయులను కదిలిస్తూ, జిరాఫీ గుర్రాలను ఎగిరిస్తూ. గెలుపు కొరకు ఆడే నవ భారత మేధో పోరాటం. జిరాఫీ చెస్సు మేధా యుద్ధం. జిరాఫీ చెస్సు మేధా యుద్ధం. యుద్ధం 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 ఇది మేధా యుద్ధం. మేధావుల మధ్య జరిగే భీకర పోరాటం. యుద్ధం ఇది మేధా యుద్ధం. యుద్ధం ఇది మేధా యుద్ధం. మేధావుల మధ్య జరిగే భీకర పోరాటం. యుద్ధం ఇది మేధా యుద్ధం. మేధావుల మధ్య జరిగే భీకర పోరాటం. రాజు మంత్రి ఏనుగొంటె సిపాయులను కదిలిస్తూ, జిరాఫీ గుర్రాలను ఎగిరిస్తూ రాజు మంత్రి ఏనుగొంటె సిపాయిలను కదిలిస్తూ జిరాఫీ గుర్రాలను ఎగిరిస్తూ గెలుపు కొరకు ఆడే నవ భారతమేదో పోరాటం జిరాఫీ చెస్సు మేధాయుద్ధం జిరాఫీ చెస్సు మేధాయుద్ధం యుద్ధం 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 ఇది మేధాయుద్ధం మేధావుల మధ్య జరిగే భీకర పోరాటం
Fighting with the swords gone, playing with the brain on. Let's play Giraffe Chess Hat-Trick League Season 3.
International Giraffe Chess Federation presents Hat-Trick League Season 3 between 10 Proddatur teams. Hello everyone, welcome to India's new 68 squared Giraffe Chess Academy Proddatur, and welcome to the live telecast of no draws, no resigns, only win or lose in just 70 moves Giraffe Chess Hat-Trick League 2024 Season 3.
Let us watch Giraffe Chess Hat-Trick League Season 3, match number 41 between Proddatur Jaguars team versus Proddatur Kings team. Each team consists of 3 players. Whoever team all outs opponent all 3 players is the match winners. Let us go and watch the toss at the center of the court. And in the toss, Proddatur Kings team won the toss and elected to play on black side.
Now, let us watch first game of the match between Proddatur Jaguars team opening player Srinu versus Proddatur Kings team opening player Aravind. Let us see among these 2 players who will win this game and who will do hat-trick and who will be the hat-trick hero of today's great match. Let us watch. Let us move on to the court. One-time hat-trick hero, best scholar awardee, Proddatur Jaguars team opening player Srinu is ready to play on white side. Let us see on other side of the court. 5 times hat-trick hero, best scholar awardee, Proddatur Kings team opening player Aravind is ready to play on black side.
Now we can see both players are ready to start game 1 of the match. Black side player Aravind is ready to hit the clock. Yes, he hit the clock. Game 1 started.
Pawn to e4, pawn to e5, pawn to g3, pawn to d6, bishop to g2, queen to e6, queen to e2, pawn to c6, knight to f3, pawn to d5, castling at king side, knight to d7, rook to e1, bishop to e7, knight to c3, pawn to d4, knight to d1, knight to h6, pawn to d3, knight to g4, bishop to h3, knight to c5, bishop to g5, queen to d6, bishop capture bishop at e7, queen capture bishop at e7, rook to c1, knight to f6, pawn to b4, knight to a4, pawn to c3, pawn capture pawn at c3, bishop capture bishop at c8, rook capture bishop at c8, giraffe capture pawn at c3, pawn to b6, pawn to d4, castling at king side, pawn capture pawn at e5, knight to d7. Giraffe to d3, knight capture pawn at e5, knight capture knight at e5, queen capture knight at e5, giraffe to g2, king to h8, pawn to f4, queen to d4 and check to white king, giraffe to f2, pawn to h6, queen to h5, giraffe to e6, queen to e2, rook to e8, knight to e3, queen capture pawn at e4, pawn to f5, giraffe to h7, pawn to h3, giraffe to f6, rook to c4, queen capture knight e3, queen capture queen at e3, rook capture queen at e3, rook capture rook at e3, giraffe capture rook at e3, pawn to g4, pawn to g6, pawn capture pawn at g6, pawn capture pawn at g6, king to f1, king to g7, king to e2, pawn to b5, rook capture pawn at c6, Giraffe capture pawn to b4. Giraffe to c3. Knight capture giraffe at c3. Rook capture knight at c3. Rook to f4. King to d2. King to f6. King to c2. King to e5. King to b3. Pawn to a5. Pawn to a4.